Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here. New stuff! Alright, yep, as you can see, I have found some more Mechtogan Surge stuff. I found this stuff at Toys R Us. Sadly, no basic starter packs or booster packs or anything like that, so not really much of that. But I have discovered a price tag for BakuNano that says $5.50. So they cost about as much as a regular booster pack. As you see here, I have two things here. I have what is called a Mechtogan expansion pack, which contains a Mechtogan, a Bakugan, and two BakuNano, along with a few cards. And the newest little monstrosity in the sub parts here, we have a launcher canister, which is both like this canister combined with that launcher I showed you from the fail dimension, combined into one. In this one, I managed to find what I believe to be a Chaos Meta Dragonoid. We'll see when I get it out. I also, this is the Subterra Mechtogan pack. No surprise there. Sorry, Subterra guys. It has a Subterra Diesel, Subterra Bolcannon, the Hyper Pulsar gear, and the Hammer Armor gear. Hyper Pulsar is silver and Hammer Armor is bronze. So, anyway, let's get these open. This is our combined launcher canister thing that comes out in Mechtogan Surge. It's actually pretty big. Even in my hands, this thing feels pretty hefty. I can't imagine how they expect little kids to be able to use this. Honestly, this thing, it's like a lightsaber. Honestly, it looks like when you hit this button that deploys the launcher, it looks like a blade should come out or something, and being able to like have sword fights. But you know, like if the Nubis Droid is any indication, you know they're going to be having a sword fight with these at some point. So anyway, it has a canister, which is actually detachable. This has the clip that goes onto your belt. It can store two Bakugan. You know, I have the standard complaints about these. It can only hold two Bakugan, and it doesn't hold any cards, and it only comes in one color, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, so these can be carried as separate parts. Now, you hit this switch here, like I showed you before, to deploy the launcher. It has the rubber tip and works like the previous one that I showed you before, but has, just like the last one, it doesn't really offer much in the degree of control, so I imagine it's about as good as the other one. This one also contains an interesting ratchet system that allows you to set it up to change in banks and curves. It came with a Meta Dragonoid, which this one's in Chaos. They also had some in Pyrus. They had a lot in Pyrus, actually. But, you know, I'd say probably my biggest complaint about this thing is the price. This set, which is exactly what you see here, comes with the launcher canister and the Dragonoid, is $12. And that is more than they even charge for the new storage container, which also is supposed to double as a battlefield or something like that. So, I don't know, if you want to get this, it's really up to you. The fact that this is modular gives me the notion that maybe they'll build an additional attachment to it for something, or like maybe something that can store some more Bakugan, or yeah, like an extended clip for this or something, or they'll make some in a different color. I really hope they make some in a different color. I'd like to see this in gray or something like that, because right now it's just kind of all Pyrus Mechtogan'd out. In the package, we got Chaos Meta Dragonoid. As you can see here, Chaos Meta Dragonoid. It also has silver as its secondary color scheme. It has its die-cast parts in the tail back here and on the legs. The tail is actually really hard to open. I actually had to pry that open with some pliers. What it does is it uses a gear in the head here, which causes it to gain a randomly determined G-power. On the Chaos one, it ranges between 650 and 1,000. So 650, 700, 850, 900, 900, 1,000. Those are the numbers on here. The fact that it has a nice large gear means that the randomization feature is going to work pretty well. Compared to other Dragonoids, this Dragonoid has a really big fat head. I find that kind of funny, but otherwise it's probably one of the most reliable attribute changers with anything with a wheel that I've ever seen. As you can see here, this is the Mechtogan Deezal. He is kind of a Gundam-ish action figure thing, Transformer action figure thing. This one is Subterra, and it comes with this special card, which Bright Light showed off, which activates his effects. He actually has a kind of nub on his back here that you can see, which you have to somehow get the card into to activate his special effects and open up all his accoutrements. And as you can see, there he is when he's all opened up. He's got a pair of gigantic cannons which bear the Subterra symbol, as well as opening up his face, and a couple more cannons here. And if you were to take a look, 200 Gs. Right there, 200 Gs. That's a lot for an additional part there. There are a lot of ability cards that can't even get that high, or are very difficult to play if they can get that high. So I imagine you're only allowed to use ones of matching attribute, and you're only allowed to have one in your force. So it has a few pegs on its arms and its hands where you can attach some of the new BakuNano. So let's take a look how he goes with it. He has a card that actually goes with the hammer armor. So I imagine that these spots on his arms are where the hammer armor is supposed to go. So once I'm done with those, I'll deck him out. Up next is Hammer Armor. Hammer Armor is a special BakuNano that, along with deploying these blades, can also split itself in half. This one is 50 Gs, as you can see right there. It is bronze, and this is unique in that it comes apart. You are meant to like attach one to each arm or each wing or something like that. I'm going to be... This is Silver Hyper Pulsar. It is rumored to be used by Drago. The button opens up two of these fins there, and you actually have to open the other two by hand in order to discover that this thing is actually 70 Gs. This actually makes it the most powerful BakuNano I found so far, but it's a shame that it doesn't actually have some kind of spinning feature. I would have liked it if it could have had just a spin, even if it had like a little button spin or just a spin that you could push it yourself, but nope, it's pretty stationary. A lot of people have said it looks a lot like Sparta Blaster, and I'm inclined to agree, except this one is, it's fully this shape here, goes all the way back to the end. So it's a bit different from Sparta Blaster. It also doesn't come with an ability card. And finally we have Subterra Bulcannon. As you can see, it's modeled a lot like Raptorix with this thin torso and the way it spins around. It's only 780 Gs though, which isn't a terribly inspiring start to Mechtogan Surge regular Bakugan. It has a new kind of orange creamsicle color to it that I can't say I'm terribly fond of. But anyway, it's kind of interesting looking. It has a spot for the BakuNano on its back here. The fact that this is the only accommodation they really have to make this season, rather than huge old honking things that go on a couple of pegs on the back, we'll probably get some more intuitive and some more interesting designs this season, I imagine. I mean, Gundalian Invaders had its designs, but it also had its limits, because these you don't have to change the shape of in order to accommodate the new features, which I'm really looking forward to. But as I figured, silver is the additional color for pretty much all attributes by the look of it. They've given the attribute colors another makeover, so we're just going to see what that does to the designs. And here it is. This is everything I've found so far. We have our launcher canister, we have Chaos Meta Dragonoid, Subterra Bolcannon, and our friend Deezal loaded down with all the BakuNano I have so far. Apparently this has a gameplay attribute to it. I'm not entirely sure how, but apparently this combination has something in the gameplay. It's kind of the closest we've come to having something like Dragonoid Colossus in a game. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I sure hope they don't blow it. I think that's the way a lot of us feel is, you know, this can get really bad really fast. So let's hope they do it correctly. And once I get some rules, I'll be sure to explain it. Anyway, for now, until I get some more, this is Kohdok signing off.